Hi, welcome to Line Fry Consultancy. Do you remember this Lenten season that just went by and fish was selling for $100 a pound for curry? Persons were like, why is the fish prices so high? Or when you go to the market and watermelon prices are way low and you are left to wonder why is it so cheap? Or how about the price of lime where you are paying $20 for just 4 limes? Do you find the prices we pay for those items are just sometimes ridiculous? Well, all these high and low prices occur due to supply and demand, which are market trends. At the end of this screencast, you, the student, will be able to differentiate between demand, supply, and other market trend definitions, and differentiate and interpret graphs presenting demand, supply, and other market trends. Demand. Demand is the willingness and the ability to pay for a commodity at each and every price over a given period of time, subject to all else being considered. The demand curve is downward sloping, and the curve is from the top left over to the bottom right. Runs along the line as prices go up or down. The determinants that shift the curve either left or right are changes that occur apart from price. These determinants are 1. Change in the price of commodity expectations. 2. Other commodities such as complements, which are products that can work together, for example, hot dog bread and hot dog sausages. And then there's substitutes, which are products that could be used as replacement as they are close to the original product. Chicken hot dogs can be replaced by beef or tofu hot dogs. Third, the number of consumers. Fourth, consumer income. Fifth, and last, consumer taste. Let's look at the demand curve. Consumer income. If the product cost price is cheap, then you are going to buy more as you are getting more for your money, shifting the curve to your right. On the reverse, as the prices increase, you are going to buy less as your purchasing power decreases. This could occur between inferior and normal products. If tofu hot dogs cost more, then persons are going to purchase hot dogs that are meat-based, shifting the curve to the left. But if the price of meat-based hot dogs raises considerably, then people are going to demand for tofu hot dogs, shifting the demand curve to the left. What do you think happens when the price of demand goes down? Nothing happens. Because when the price goes down, the price changes demand, while the 5 determinants shift the demand curve. Remember, the determinants can either shift the curve to the right or to the left. Right meaning the shift is in favor of the consumer. Now let's have a look at the change in quantity versus the change in demand. If you look at the graph, you will see points A, B, and C. Points A and B shows the changes in the demand curve due to price, while points A to C shows a change in demand, meaning the price remained the same, but people decide to buy more, which may be one of the 5 determinants working on the demand curve. The elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand is determining how much less or how much more people will purchase. In business terms, it's how sensitive quantity demanded is to change of price. Let's have a look at inelastic. As a good example, we are going to use gas. If the price of gas increases, the quantity decreases by a small amount, which is the price increasing gas, was sensitive to change of price. When the price falls, it will go in another direction. demand goes up, but by a little. Take into consideration that products in elastic demand have very few substitutes and are often in necessity. This is represented by a of coefficient less than 1 for inelastic. The curve is usually steeper in slant when inelastic. Let's have a look at elastic. Elastic, on the other hand, is sensitive to price change. When the price goes up, the demand for the product drops drastically. And when the price goes down, the demand for the product increases. The product has many substitutes or is luxurious. The coefficient is more than 1 and the slant is not as steep as inelastic. If the product percentage is the same as the price percentage, then the coefficient is equal and it's called unit elastic demand, where the main determinant is equal to the availability of substitute. The price elasticity formula is percentage change in quantity demand over percentage change in price. Now let's look at supply. Supply is the willingness and the ability to sell a commodity at each and every price over a given period of time, subject to all else being constant. When the price of hot dogs goes up, the quantity of hot dogs will increase. The increase in price is an incentive for the company to produce more hot dogs because they want more profit. When the price increases or decreases, it moves along the curve. And the supply of hot dogs would decrease. The curve begins from the bottom left, moving to the top right, which is upward sloping, unlike demand, which is downward sloping. Just like demand, supply curve could also shift. Supply shifting also depends on the determinant and can either shift left or right. Determinants of supply. First, we have change in the price of the resource commodity, the number of companies manufacturing hot dogs, technology, taxes and subsidies, where taxes increase the manufacturing resources and would therefore shift the demand curve to the left. And while subsidies, which is money offered to the government, would ease the cost associated with manufacturing, shifting the supply curve to the right, as subsidy would help decrease the price to produce. Then we have supply expectation. Let's take a further look. We're looking at improved technology and supply expectation. If the introduction of new technology, such as a machinery to cure hot dogs faster, would increase supply, and the curve would shift to the right. Whereas supply expectation, if the manufacturer believes that the price of hot dogs will increase from next week, then he's going to hold back supply of hot dogs until the price is higher, shifting the supply curve to the left. What happens to the supply of the product when the prices increase? Nothing. Nothing happens as supply stays the same, but the quantity supplied increases. Remember that a change in supply moves along the supply curve, and a change in determinant would shift the curve either to the left or the right. Now let's look at supply elasticity. Supply elasticity, just like demand elasticity, measures how responsive the quantity of supply is to price change. It operates with the same coefficient formula as demand, but just replacing demand with supply, which is supply elasticity percentage equals percentage change in quantity supplied over percentage change in price. Now, let's look at equilibrium. Equilibrium is where two lines intersect. It's called an equilibrium or a market clearing price. This equilibrium are where the two lines reach their highest point. When price is at its highest, demand is low, and supply price is at its highest. At this point, there is a surplus due to supply being high and demand being low. This surplus is represented by the blue area. This surplus is worked out as the quantity of hot dogs supplied minus the quantity of hot dogs demanded. Surpluses usually fix themselves by the suppliers carrying the price down to the equilibrium price. Now, let's look at if the product falls below the equilibrium price. In this instance, consumers will want to buy, and the demand for the product will exceed its supply, as producers would only want to supply what they are able to make a profit out of, causing a shortage, which is represented by the pink color area. The shortage naturally fixes itself, and the price will return to its equilibrium price. Now, let's recap. So, we learned about demand, which is downward sloping, and we learned about supply, which is upward sloping, and equilibrium, where is the demand curve intersects the supply curve. We have learned that the rise and fall of prices move up and down the demand and supply curve. As the price increases, the demand curve decreases and the supply curve increases, creating a surplus. As the prices reduce, the demand increases, the supply decreases, creating a shortage. Also, let's not forget that these determinants shift the demand curve and the supply curve either to the left or to the right. Demand being 1, change in price, 2, the change in price of other commodities, which is complement and substitute, 3, the number of consumers, 4, the number of income, 5, the consumer taste. For supply, we have 1, the change in commodity, 2, the number of companies manufacturing, 3, technology, 4, taxes and subsidies, and 5, supply expectation. Let's do some graphs. Please pause the video and complete and draw some graphs to represent these statements. Now let's answer these questions. Number 1 answer. Technology cuts production time in producing hot dogs. Remember, technology is a shifter, and as the price decreases, so will the quantity increase, thereby shifting the curve to the right. Number 2, bacon price increase. If the price of bacon increases, then the demand for hot dogs will increase, and the curve would shift to the right, as bacon, being a substitute for hot dogs, will now be on demand, will now make hot dogs be on demand, shifting the curve to the right. Number 3, chicken hot dogs price decrease. When chicken hot dogs price decrease, then the price for hot dog, the demand for hot dogs will increase as the price decreases, moving along the curve. Number 4, resource product chicken went up. The price of chickens, which is key to the manufacturing of hot dogs, if that price went up, then the quantity of chicken hot dogs will decrease, because it would be an extra cost to the manufacturer to produce hot dogs at a higher price. So the supplier would cut down on the amount supplied, shifting the curve to the left. Now that we have gone through some market trends, please do remember that graphs used through class are not only for class, but can predict for business as well as your personal life. Thank you for listening, and I do give credit to the Economics Network for the information provided. If you want to evaluate yourself, please check the link below. Do look out for our next lesson on necessary conditions for a competitive market. See you next time.